Hey everyone, welcome to Tech Gamers World. So before Tom Cruise could blast off into the danger zone in Top Gun, he first had to start up his plane. In this video, I'm going to provide you with a hands-on, step-by-step demonstration on how to start up an F-18E Super Hornet in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to take it from cold and dark to ready to fly in a matter of minutes. So stay tuned, click that like button, we'll be right back. Let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome back. So here we are in the cockpit of the F-18E Super Hornet. Now we need to verify a couple of things here before we start up this plane. We want to make sure the APU starter is off. We need to check some lights, so let's move the throttle out of the way and check strobe lights. Now you would set these lights to whatever settings you want depending on the time of day and what you're doing. So let's go ahead and move the throttle back down here. Next up, we want to make sure that the parking brake is set in the on position. It is. Next up, we need to make sure the landing gear is set, which it is. Flaps are set for automatic. You want to leave them in automatic is my personal preference. Anti-skid, we're going to turn on. As we can see, all of our heads-up displays and everything is off right now. That is what you would expect. The tail hook is extended right now, and now it's retracted. We're going to leave it, make sure it is set for retracted. Verifying operations there. Wings folded. We're going to leave them just as they are. And we want to make sure that the generators are showing as norm. So we need to move up to them. Here is one here, left generator, batteries off, and right generator. Okay, we're looking good there. So we've done our pre-startup checks. Now it's time to start up these engines. So the first thing we want to do is take the battery and switch it to on. So let's go ahead here and get on the battery. Switch it to on. As soon as you do that, the heads-up displays all come online. And next, we need to turn on the APU. So APU starter set to on. Now we want to wait until the light turns green and signifies that the APU is ready. Takes a minute here. There we go. We now have a solid green light. So the next up is the engine starter. We need to turn on the left and right engines. So we're going to turn on the left engine. Now, you want to wait a little bit to verify that the left engine is turned on. As we can see, the left engine, the RPMs are starting to come up. We'll see the temperature increase and the oil pressure rise. It's recommended that before you start the next engine to make sure that the oil PSI is at least 10. You can see the temperatures are steadily rising. Oil pressures at 6, 8. So we're at 10 PSI for oil pressure. Now let's go back to the starter. And we're going to get back on it here and move it to the right position. So we're going to start up the right engine now, engine 1. And as you can see, engine 1, the RPMs are coming up. You can start the plane in whatever order you want, left engine, right engine. The typical rule of thumb is right to left. So we're just going to verify engine operations here within expected parameters. RPMs are rising, temperature is rising. Oil PSI on the right engine is at 6. And we're at 10 PSI. Now after that is done, we can switch the starter engine back to off, and we are finished with that part. And our engines are up and running. The next thing we want to do is find the bleed air switch. Here it is. We're going to set the APU bleed to on. And just to show you here, you can set it on manual engines. I'm just going to make sure it's set for both and set for APU bleed on. Okay, we are now basically ready to fly. There's a few more things we want to do before we start to taxi. So we'll go ahead and do those things now. Pretty easy checks here, just to make sure that we are ready to go. So here's where you want to set your comm channels and make sure that your wings are in a fixed position, which they are. These wings can actually be folded up if you're on a carrier. Checking flight operations here. Our flight stick, everything is looking good. Alright. So next up is turning off the APU. It is already set in the off position, which is what we'd expect. Now this next and final step is to release the parking brake. Before you do this, I highly recommend you have any exterior lights or interior lights on that you need before you start moving. And there we go. This F-18E is ready to fly. We did that in about a little under 6 minutes. So in an emergency, you can get off the ground in a number of minutes. It's super fast and super awesome. Hope everybody enjoyed this video. As always, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to enable notifications. I'm going to have new and exciting content coming soon. Thanks a lot, everybody, and have a good one. See you soon.